I want to start with a simple question. Is your past an anchor, an apex, or is your past an asset? Because how you answer these questions will determine whether or not your past holds you back or it helps you continue to move forward and level up as an entrepreneur. Right now, we are living in a world where knowledge is commoditized. It's becoming more commoditized every day. Information is in abundance. It is everywhere. AI can generate answers instantly, and anyone can look smart. But here's the thing. AI cannot replicate you. It cannot replicate your lived experience. And yet, most entrepreneurs, they treat their past experiences like baggage instead of an asset, instead of leverage. They have spent 10, 15, 20 plus years building a business, learning lessons, making mistakes, navigating challenges, but almost none of that wisdom ever gets captured. Instead, the wisdom that they have gained, it stays trapped. It's locked inside conversations they have with their team. It's trapped in the advice they give to clients. It's hidden in the discussions they have with prospects on Zoom, yet it never gets documented. Their wisdom never gets codified. And as a result, the wisdom an entrepreneur has never gets published. Many entrepreneurs, they believe their past mistakes disqualify them from sharing their wisdom in the first place. They think, who am I to say this? They lie to themselves thinking, oh, I guess there are people smarter out there who are already talking about this. Or my personal favorite, I just need more time. I need more time to figure this out before I say anything. And I'm like, what do you mean you need more time? You've been doing the thing for 10, 15, 20 years. How much more time do you need? Think about time. Go listen to my other episode about Memento Mori. Need some motivation on time. Your mistakes, they do not disqualify you. They educate you. Think about someone like Alex Hormozi, best-selling author, founder of acquisition.com. If you look at his story, Alex did not have a straight line to success. It wasn't linear. In fact, there was probably a valley of despair, multiple valleys of despair early on because his early ventures, they struggled. He had gyms that failed, partnerships that didn't work out, financial stress. I mean, a lot of us entrepreneurs go through that same exact narrative. Those experiences didn't disqualify Hormozi. Those experiences became the raw material for the wisdom he is now sharing with millions of entrepreneurs around the world. So what's looked like failure has now become his intellectual property. What was pain has become a portfolio of assets. So when you take someone like Alex, for example, he recently set the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest selling nonfiction book in 24 hours. His book, 100 Million Money Models. He sold 2.7 to 3 million copies in a single day. And there are some estimates that place the revenue generated at 80 million to 100 million in 24 to 48 hours. But it's not about the money. I don't want to focus on that. I wanted to focus on the impact, because when you think about the impact that Alex is now creating, where is that impact coming from? It's coming from his past experience. And I believe that you too have the same potential that Alex has. Because after hosting more than 500 podcast conversations with entrepreneurs over the year, I've seen a very interesting pattern. Entrepreneurs are sitting on a massive amount of wisdom. It's their greatest assets, but it's trapped. It's trapped in their head. It's trapped in their experiences. It's trapped in their conversations. And when wisdom stays trapped, that wisdom, your wisdom, it cannot help anyone. It cannot create an impact. However, when your wisdom is captured, when it is shared, when it is published, your wisdom becomes one of your biggest assets. It is an asset that helps people. It amplifies your voice. It elevates your brand. It expands the impact that you can make as an entrepreneur, which brings us back to the question. Is your past an anchor, an apex, or is your past an asset? I want to break this down for you. For many entrepreneurs, their past is an anchor. An anchor holds a ship in place. It keeps them from moving forward. And when entrepreneurs see their past as an anchor, they focus on the wrong things, their failures, their regrets, the embarrassing moments, the decisions that didn't work, the deals that fell apart, the times that we got it wrong. And because of that, they convince themselves that they shouldn't say anything. Those moments are exactly where your wisdom comes from. The mistakes don't disqualify you. They educate you. The trials, the tribulations. You lived through these experiences. These experiences are just tuition that you had to pay to get to this point in your journey. Because think about where you're at now compared to where you were 10, 15, 20 plus years ago. The lessons you gained, they might just be the thing that someone else needs right now to get beyond where they're at, which is exactly where you were. This is how your past failures become fuel. Think of it as like a car. They become fuel that helps someone else to move forward, to elevate, to level up. Now, the second way entrepreneurs can view their past is like an apex. An apex. Think about a mountain. It's the summit. It's the high point. It's the place where you gain perspective. It's the peak. And when you reach the apex of the mountain, you can see things. You can see things clearly. You gain clarity. You gain perspective. You can see further into the future than what you could see before. You can also see into the past, the patterns that weren't obvious before. And that's what experience does. Once again, your tests, your trials, your tribulations, they all help you gain perspective. And when you rise to the apex, you climb up the mountain, this is how your mess begins to become your message. This is how your struggle becomes your story. And when you unlock and share your wisdom, you become like a Sherpa, guiding someone else up the mountain that you've climbed many, many times before, because the hard-earned lessons that you gained, that becomes the GPS for someone else to help them avoid the mistakes that you have already made. Now, here's where wisdom gets even more powerful. When you go up the apex and you ascend the mountain to capture perspective, this is where your past becomes an asset that compounds over time. Because when wisdom is published, when your wisdom is published, it can create impact that multiplies over time. What once lived inside you, inside your head, inside your mind, the past failures, the pain, the regret, can now help people you've never even met. Your lessons can be unlocked. They can be shared in podcast conversations. This is the part of amplification. Those podcast conversations, they become the foundation for your book's manuscript. And your book, that becomes your signature keynote. And your keynote, it becomes an invitation to a workshop, to a community, to coaching that can help thousands of people, more people than you thought you could even help before. So yeah, your past pain can become a platform that helps others elevate and level up. I was just talking to an entrepreneur literally right before I hit record, and he was sharing a very painful experience. Him and his wife lost a child 16 days after the child was born. And through that experience, his life took an entirely new direction as an entrepreneur. In fact, they started a foundation called 16 Days. Because one of the observations that he made in the NICU was 75% of babies in the NICU did not have parents with them, because parents had to make a choice. They had to choose whether or not they were going to be there with their child, or they had to go to work to take care of their child. And this entrepreneur told me he didn't want parents to have to make that choice. So they transformed their past painful experience of loss into a charity to help others. So your experience, regardless of what it is, has the potential to create impact. It can become intellectual property. And in a world where knowledge is commoditized, your published wisdom becomes your greatest asset. So as we wrap up, I want to ask you a question. Right now, is your past an anchor, an apex, or an asset? Is your past holding you back? Is it helping you see things differently? Is it helping you build something that serves others? Here's a simple exercise to take action on, to get you into movement. First, I want you to review and look back over the last 10 years of your entrepreneurial journey, a decade. What are the experiences that you lived that shaped you the most? Where did you struggle? Where did you learn the big lessons? And once you reflect on that, ask yourself, what did I learn? What did those experiences teach me? And what do I understand today that I didn't understand back then? Because finally, this is where you rewrite the story. This is where you turn those lessons into wisdom you can share to help someone else. Maybe it does become a story, a narrative, a parable, a fable. Maybe it's a conversation that you have with your team, but in a different way, so that your team understands you in a different way. Maybe it's a podcast conversation, or maybe this experience becomes the chapter of your future book, because your past isn't something that you hide from. It's something that you build from. And the entrepreneurs who are going to thrive in the future, they're not going to be the ones with the most information. Information, once again, it's in abundance now. We all have access to information, even more so than just the internet with AI. The entrepreneurs who are going to thrive in the future are going to be the ones who have the courage and the commitment to share their wisdom to help others. The wisdom that you have inside you right now. The only question is, are you going to leave the wisdom that you have trapped in the one-on-one conversations that you're having right now? Or are you going to have the courage to unlock it, to share it, to publish it, by transforming your past into an asset that will help others elevate and level up? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something. If today's episode resonates with you and you want to start making your past your greatest asset, head on over to levelupbusiness.com, where you can begin turning your past experience into published wisdom.